it no mo'. Dey's been a lake, en suthin's happened, en de lake's dead, en we seen its ghost. We seen it twicet, en dat's proof. De desert's ha'nted. It's ha'nted, sho. Oh, Mars Tom, let's get outen it. I'd ruther die den have de night ketch us in it agin, en de ghosts er dat lake come a-mournin' around us, en we asleep en don't know de danger we's in. Ghost, you gander! It ain't anything but air and heat and thirstiness pasted together by a person's imagination. If I— Give me the glass." He grabbed it and begun to gaze off to the right. "It's a flock of birds," he says. "It's getting toward sundown, and they're making a bee-line across our track for somewheres. They mean business. Maybe they're going for food or water, or both. Let her go to starboard. Port your helm, hard down. There, ease up, steady as you go." We shut down some of the power, so as not to outspeed them, and took out after them. We went skimming along a quarter of a mile behind them, and when we had followed them an hour and a half and was getting pretty discouraged, and was thirsty clean to unendurableness, Tom says, "Take the glass, one of you, and see what that is, away ahead of the birds." Jim got the first glimpse, and slumped down on the locker sick. He was most crying, and says: "She's dah again, Mars Tom. She's dah again, en I knows I's gwine to die, 'cause when a body sees a ghost a third time, dat's what it means. I wisht I'd never come in dis balloon, dat I does." He wouldn't look no more, and what he said made me afraid, too, because I knowed it was true, for that has always been the way with ghosts. So then I wouldn't look any more, either. Both of us begged Tom to turn off and go some other way, but he wouldn't. He said we was ignorant, superstitious blatherskites. Yes, and he'll get come up with one of these days, I says to myself, insulting ghosts that way. They'll stand it for a while, maybe, but they won't stand it always, for anybody that knows about ghosts knows how easy they are hurt, and how revengeful they are. So we was all quiet and still, Jim and me being scared, and Tom busy. By and by Tom fetched the balloon to a standstill, and says: "Now get up and look, you sapheads." We done it, and there was the sure enough water, right under us, clear and blue and cool and deep and wavy with a breeze, the loveliest sight that ever was, and all about it was grassy banks and flowers and shady groves of big trees looped together with vines, and all looking so peaceful and comfortable, enough to make a body cry, it was so beautiful. Jim did cry, and rip and dance and carry on, he was so thankful and out of his mind for joy. It was my watch, so I had to stay by the works, but Tom and Jim clumb down and drunk a barrel apiece, and fetched me up a lot, and I've tasted a many good thing in my life, but nothing that ever begun with that water. Then we went down and had a swim, and then Tom came up and spelled me, and me and Jim had a swim, and then Jim spelled Tom, and me and Tom had a foot race and a boxing mill, and I don't reckon I ever had such a good time in my life. It weren't so very hot, because it was close on to evening, and we hadn't any clothes on anyway. Clothes is well enough in school, and in towns, and at balls, too, but there ain't no sense in them when there ain't no civilization, nor other kinds of bothers and fussiness around. "Lions a-comin'! Lions! Quick, Mars Tom! Jump for your life, Huck!" Oh, and didn't we! We never stopped for clothes, but waltzed up the ladder just so. Jim lost his head straight off. He always done it whenever he got excited and scared. And so now, 'stead of just easing the ladder up from the ground a little, so the animals couldn't reach it, he turned on a raft of power, and we went whizzing up and was dangling in the sky before he got his wits together and seen what a foolish thing he was doing. Then he stopped her, but he had clean forgot what to do next. So there we was, so high that the lions looked like pups, and we was drifting off on the wind. But Tom, he shinned up and went for the works and begun to slant her down, and back toward the lake, where the animals was gathering like a camp meeting, and I judged he had lost his mind, too, for he knowed I was too scared to climb, and did he want to dump me among the tigers and things? But no, his head was level, he knowed what he was about. He swooped down to within 30 or 40 feet of the lake, and stopped right over the center, and sung out, "Leggo, and drop!" I done it, and shot down feet first, and seemed to go about a mile toward the bottom, and when I come up, he says, "Now lay on your back and float till you're rested, and got your pluck back. Then I'll dip the ladder in the water, and you can climb aboard." I done it. Now that was ever so smart in Tom, because if he had started off somewheres else to drop down on the sand, the menagerie would 'a' come along too, and might 'a' kept us hunting a safe place till I got tuckered out and fell. And all this time the lions and tigers was sorting out the clothes, and trying to divide them up so there would be some for all, but there was a misunderstanding about it somewheres, on account of some of them trying to hog more than their share. So there was another insurrection, and you never see anything like it in the world. There must have been 50 of them, all mixed up together, snorting and roaring and snapping and biting and tearing, legs and tails in the air, and you couldn't tell which was which, and the sand and fur a-flying. And when they got done, some was dead, and some was limping off crippled, and the rest was setting around on the battlefield, some of them licking their sore places, and the others looking up at us and seemed to be kind of inviting us to come down and have some fun, but which we didn't want any. As for the clothes, they weren't any more. Every last rag of them was inside of the animals, and not agreeing with them very well, I don't reckon, for there was considerable many brass buttons on them, and there was knives in the pockets, too, and smoking tobacco, and nails, and chalk, and marbles, and fish hooks and things. But I wasn't caring. All that was bothering me was that all we had now was the professor's clothes, a big enough assortment, but not suitable to go into company with, if we came across any, because the breeches was as long as tunnels, and the coats and things according. Still, there was everything a tailor needed, and Jim was a kind of jack-legged tailor, and he allowed he could soon trim a suit or two down for us that would answer. End of chapter 8.